Going to 2 minutes Spider Queen, Roll20 with the choice method will take first pick, as they've chosen that due to their loss earlier here. So all about the wave clear for these teams. And we'll Roll20 keep sticking with the bird here. We've seen Quack run full set on this battleground, or was that more of a one-off thing for Dragonshire?
I was expecting Battlefield of Eternity to come out. Method is traditionally strong on Tomb with a 4-1. Roll20 has a 1-3 on the map, whereas on Battlefield of Eternity it's basically reversed. Roll20 has an even better win rate on that map than Method does. So Tomb is a small surprise, but again it's a snowbally map, and if you feel you have an early game strategy where you can run over your opponent, why not? Would still be surprised if later on in the series we're not gonna see Battlefield of Eternity if at any point Roll20 has the map choice again. But okay, I'm game for Tomb. Let's see what's happening here.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what we're going to be having on that front line. Robodoba looked a little bit stronger on the Murd than what we've had in the last couple of weeks, but again, Diablo is one that you have to consider on this map. Johanna, of course, great for the helpful wave clear too, but we've even had some Garrosh compositions just to find picks, and I would love to see some Garrosh from Robodoba. Again, it's one that we always bring up when it comes to him, but he just looks like a different player. He looks confident. Other times when I'm watching other tanks, it feels like he's reacting to maybe a shot call someone's making. Yeah.
He's very reactionary on a lot of the tanks and oftentimes very hesitant, but on Garrosh I agree, he always seems like he has more confidence in the way that he plays, and that just creates completely different opportunities for his team. It's not only the opportunities for engagements and kills that he oftentimes creates, it's also the way that that he's saving teammates, which is just impressive. So
a confident tank is a win in the bank.
I love it. I actually think Garrosh is his best, but right now they're not playing a lot of Garrosh.
Yeah. Well, here comes the Genji band. So we have Medivh, Genji Bandal, Thrall, and my M for Method. All the tanks are available for the pickings.
Diablo open, Urel open, they got Kayn available. What do you go for as your first pick?
Probably Kayn if it's Method. Although I wouldn't mind seeing a Diablo mixed in. I think it's also the other thing, whenever we have...
If you pick Kayn now, I want Diablo Urel immediately taken again. Yeah, and that's the reason why Method says like, no, not today. We kind of remembered what happened yesterday against Monkeys. Maybe we should break the Urel and Diablo combo up, even if Zealots might, or Roll20 might not be as dominant on that particular combo. It's a bit too much of a risk here, especially when you're down a map already.
Well, we'll Roll20.
Deca Diablo.
Think so?
I hope so.
Phoenix plays for them.
I think that's the mistake.
Do you think Method will learn from the 3-man trio that we had yesterday? Will they pick it up themselves here? It's fully open and available.
I think
Phoenix too.
I think they could, but they don't even have to, because after that double pick we're heading into the next ban, so you can just ban out some of those heroes.
Diablo and Kayn, they're doing it.
Yep.
This combo is difficult to break.
To be honest, if no matter what the draft is from here on out, no matter how it says, if Roll20 loses this game, then the only comment that I have is serves you right. After you've seen the last 2 days of games where these 3 heroes in combination have barely lost a game, and after you've seen Method against Monkeys with this, and you don't take any of them away or break it apart and you allow Method to get it, if you don't have a perfect answer here of your Roll20 that really shows, okay, we've seen it, we've found an answer, and we're going to show it right now. If you lose that game, then it's your own bloody fault.
I am wondering if Roll20 might have an answer. There is someone that we haven't seen from Quack in a while, but I think could do all right into this if you're trying to lock down a target, and that could be that Cursed Bullet Greymane.
Yeah.
Gives some wave clear, can help try to deal with the front line. That's the issue with this composition, is how do you get through the front line to even get to the squishy backlands that may be picked with this? How do you even kill them at all? And finding some opportunities like a Greymane Cursed Bullet and getting the lockdown and coordination could be a way for them to approach that.
Oh, wave clear. It's Tomb after all.
Yeah.
After all, it's Tomb. So if you find a wave clear composition that allows you to play the objective and play around that, then I can see that approach and idea behind it. But I need to see something now from them.
All right, let's find out. Roll20, what are you going to give us? What is the pick here to beat this godly combination? Junkrat and Whitemane to pop out. Junkrat will help out with the wave clear. Whitemane, not so much, but helps in brawls. And also that's pretty decent poke to help stop the turn-ins if your opposing team is trying to sneak them in.
I mean, you have displacement. Are you... No. still thinking about that Garrosh, but I don't really feel that's what we're going to see here from them. And I also don't know if it really would have the effect that you're normally hoping for.
If it was Stukover Malfurion for the support,
Yeah.
I'd be okay, Garrosh.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Easy picks early.
No, that's what I was thinking too. If you have anything to follow it up properly, then maybe. But also, who do you target? You have very limited targets in the sense. So Muradin is the obvious one here for them to take. And I'm not sold.
Same.
Not at all. I look over to what Method had, and I compare the... Now again, you judge from drafts, and oftentimes it's not really easy to say, okay, who has the better draft necessarily, because oftentimes it comes down to both teams coming in with a game plan, and oftentimes it's like, okay, we need to win the early game to make this and this happen, or we need to not fall behind in the early game, and then once 10 comes online, then we're going to run from there. You oftentimes end up in a scenario where both teams say, we felt we had the draft we wanted, but our strategy didn't pan out. But I look at this and I'm saying, from everything we've seen this weekend, from everything we've seen last week, and what we have on Method's side is absolutely
disgusting.
Terrifying, disgusting. It's a disaster to go up against. It's incredibly tough to break through. And I look over to what Roll20 has, and I'm looking at, okay, and I'm asking myself, do you have what it takes to break through that? And every single time I think about an engagement, about a 4-man that face off against each other, or about a 5-man, I'm like, no, you don't have it.
Yeah, I look over to Method and I see a fully baked pie already. I look over to Roll20 and they have some ingredients, but I don't know how they break Method apart. How do you get Diablo out of position?
But again, they must have seen those games.
Yeah.
There must be a thought. There must be something we don't see here, and I want to see now in the game what that is. What is that? What is that play? What is that rotation? What is that synergy that Roll20 is going to rely upon?
Okay, here we go. Athero on Urel, Nick on Gul'dan, Bad Benny on Diablo, ADRD on Hanzo, and Curson to play Deckard.
To the right side of the map with a lead in this series, it's Roll20 with Shad on Whitemane, Quacknix, or Duck on Junkrat with Chris this time. On Phoenix, no resets for him, no Liming. Robodoba again on Muradin, and Zarmony on Blaze.
Now, with it all being said in the draft, Roll20 is up 1-0 over Method. Obviously got some plans set up here. Dragonshire, a battleground that we typically don't see them go to. Showed some training and some setup to make sure they could break Method down. But the wave clear here for Method, the setup, the ability to force fights, all of it just works for Tuna Spider Queen. Especially that Hanzo coming in here with the scatter arrows, shelling away. Phoenix will have to suffer for that damage coming in.
But I like the aggression in the early game, and I also love what we just saw because it's something that I missed a little bit from Team Liquid in the previous series. Very good setup with Muradin, Stormbolt into a Junkrat, Percussion Mine. So I like that. Trying to heavily spec into displacement and try to create some chaos that you can capitalize on by focusing on a single target. If they can get a few kills through that, that would be fantastic for them. So there's at least that they have in their tool. Let's see if they can use it. They're trying it again through the displacement, putting Bad Benny in a bad spot. But of course, Bad Benny is also right now still trying to get a few stacks together. And once that he is fully stacked out with souls and hit points, then even displacement is gonna not guarantee you a kill.
Even that soul shield helps him in the early game towards building that quest of finishing up the souls and just surviving that comes his way. When you activate, of course, you get that extra spell armor being available. So we'll watch out for him. We got a nice little dog back.
Very aggressive rotation from Roll20. What they're doing is they're setting up a rotation, or they have in the early game set up a rotation between mid lane and bot lane. They have two heroes that can solo lane. That's Phoenix and that's Blaze. So instead of just simply having the traditional top bot mid lane rotation, they changed that up a little bit and create a lot of pressure. But still, it's Method who finds the first kill here against Junkrat. Even with that nice early game aggression, Roll20 was not able to get that early kill. Benny, though, falls. Nice moves that we are seeing here from Roll20 to at least get a trade.
I mean, Robodoba did a really good job of blocking. He sat and held that corridor in the top right, which meant that Diablo couldn't escape away from the initial fight. And Nick just stitched out the damage, and it was enough.
But I really like this setup with Blaze at the bot lane and Phoenix at the top, because it allows you to now basically rotate with 3 heroes onto a lane, have a 4-man, rotate the 4-man into the middle, rotate the solo one out, so you never really know where the 4-man is appearing, and that makes it very tricky to go up against. It's a really cool approach for the early game. Person also, again here in focus target, but no kill this time, and Chris has to move away here, barely does so.
Thero with a movement into the middle lane, force Roll20 to back up and not fully commit to Deckard Cain. He's able to get those potions out thanks to those shields popping in. Thero You need to play it a bit careful, though, because Roll20 has multiple members in the bottom lane. Hang on, actually, as Bad Vinny is going for a combo. Pops over to Zarmony. Can't pull him into the turret, though.
Yeah, the armor comes out as the Thero starts to jump in here. From a quest perspective, we have 10 stacks on Nick's Gul'dan, 38 now for Diablo, so Benny is slowly and steadily getting there, whereas Hitpoint Pool is starting to become a problem for Roll20. Kill for a kill in the game, experience in the favor of Method slightly. And they start to take some control. They also got the siege chance at the bot lane, hugely important, especially now with Deckard Kane helping to push in. They can take the first tower of the game.
Well, they had here too, and then explosive barrel. It's hard for those minions to get stacked up. Also can put some scatter arrows on top of Chris. Phoenix having to deal with that thanks to his big old hitbox. 7 about to hit soon for Method as they are about a level behind. Roll20 though, right behind them too, keeping up with an experience. Just not finding the early kills like we had earlier on Dragonshire. A little bit more closer in this game number 2 in terms of experience.
Yeah, Method, they definitely have to dig deep now in the series. After they already struggled in the games against the Monkeys, they now fall behind against Roll20. Not a situation you want to be in, but in this game they have the chance to tie it up so that they don't have to go for another reverse sweep. That would of course be the biggest issue ever. Reverse sweep is always a massive problem, not only because they need to win 3 in a row, it's the emotional and mental aspect that comes with it, to just always stay in that mindset where you say, hey, we can still do that.
Yeah.
But you can never slip up.
Can't afford to fumble things in draft, maybe an execution. Having to do that 3 games in a row is always a difficult task. They were able to pull it off against the Monkeys, but having to do that twice in 1 weekend, oof.
Yeah.
That would be quite annoying.
Okay, camps are taken, slightly delayed for Method so that they have a better time defending the camp of their opponent, and then they get their own push going. They also are 1 single gem away from securing the first web weave away for themselves, so that's already a little bit scary for Roll20.
Method attempting to stop the turn-in, but Ethereum may have gone a little too deep. Being chased here, Ethereum trying to stay alive. The Stormbolt actually did miss. He juked it, jumped to the right, but the jet propulsion will help secure the kill. Zarmony moves straight on in and finds the pick. Now, meanwhile, Method did get a turn in on the top side, and Bad Vinny is thinking about coming in for a fight as he goes straight in for Chris. But with the web weavers coming in, should be able to be just fine. Ethereal will spawn soon and join his allies.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it comes at a cost. Intercession, by the way, taken again, pointing it out because the white main builds that we've seen throughout the weekend have oftentimes ignored the Talon on 7, but the cleanse variation of white main can be very important against the jet propulsion and Stormbolt composition that we're seeing here, and also against, on the other side, of course, the CC that comes through with it. But yeah, that's going to be very, very important here for them. But Method now starting to push in with that web weaver wave. Now, of course, the push is a bit delayed because Urel still needed to come back from the Nexus, and Roll20 is setting up that defense. Junkrat finds himself under a bit of pressure at the top lane, and that is eating a lot of free damage here. But the towers go down, Method with a slight lead, and of course trying to get an early 10.
Yep, force the main focus, with Zarmony on the side, threatening the idea of a full flank. He doesn't have to commit to it, but just make Method realize that he is there. Method not phased, though. They commit to the fort, and they take it. Jump up in experience. Junkrat in the top was able to finally clear out that lane. But Method misses nothing as Golden rotates over and gets those minions, too. So Method will be able to get that 10 if they push for it and deny Roll20 that turn-in.
Diablo's also nearly fully stacked, waiting for one more minion to be taken out here. Gul'dan on 17 at this point. But yeah, the early level 10 would allow for the double turn-in. They're still 12 gems short of making that happen, but they're working on that as we speak. And that could be Roll20 again on the back foot here in this game. They have a tough time breaking through this right now. As expected.
They are stacking up some gems, though. I have a total of 60 here for them. Need to work on their 10, as you were mentioning, so they start to soak in a safe manner. You have Junkrat in the top, Phoenix already working on the middle side. Method will take this opportunity to actually move in for a possible gank. We're looking at Robodoba, for Roll20 in solid positioning are able to escape. That means that we should see Method try to go for that turn-in and maybe bait in a fight before 10 connects for Roll20.
All right, let's see how Roll20 plays this. Invaded the bot lane. Zarmony holds 20, and he is not going to get out of this.
No, he's done. That's 21 gems.
Can he hold long enough? Maybe.
Wow.
Yes, he actually can. He survives, and here's the level 10 for Roll20 as they are moving in and trying to turn it around. Method not decisive enough to get the kill here. A Horrify comes through, but only allows them to walk away from this. Look at that. He actually survives and holds onto the 20 gems.
I'm convinced. Bunker's a good heroic. I decided just now.
Oh, you were going.
I wasn't the entire time. Yeah.
I had to actually dig deep to remember what the second, what the second heroic ability is called for Blaze.
Riptire, Roll20 trying to fight, but Zarmany goes in and gets a big hit there. Ethereal falls up too with his own knockback, knocking 4 backwards. Zarmany's starting to go for the retreat. No bunker for 15 seconds, so Roll20 would love to escape here. Robodoba, however, jumps over the wall and goes straight for a Stormbolt.
That's not where you want to fight if you're Roll20, not against Gul'dan.
No.
He is just loving this. 28 stacks, that should be the turn-in, that should be another Webweaver wave here for them. But yeah, in that corridor, if you're Roll20, you cannot turn around and fight this. That is just not happening. ADRD with the attempt, and there's the red Webweaver wave. Roll20 is first. ADRD actually turning around too late. He could have started the turn-in a lot earlier, and he didn't. And that allowed Roll20 Esports to turn in.
Zarmany able to sneak in the top lane.
That was a mistake from ADRD. Messed up a little bit here.
Method will have to fence though. Gul'dan, great at wave clear here. Hanzo too with that explosive arrow. Just a matter of whether or not Roll20 can find the fight they're looking for. And speaking of a fight, again, Bad Benny finds Zarmany hanging out in the bushes.
Zarmany is really just on that level where you always think like, is he gonna die now? This time he's gonna die, right? Still not gonna die. Second later, he gets attacked again. It's like, this time he is falling for sure. And he somehow always gets away. Like, he is cutting it close quite a bit. As long as he can stay alive through that, that's fantastic. It forces your opponent to drop a lot of resources and cooldowns onto you.
He's the kind of guy that goes skydiving and pulls a parachute 100 feet after you're supposed to, just to give you a heart attack. But he likes it, the adrenaline rush. Yes, this is fun. This is great. This is awesome. Okay, Zarmany.
Calm down.
Calm down, Zarmany.
All right, so the defense so far was actually really strong by Method, and Roll20 has not gotten too much out of the thing. It was actually not really heavily committed to by any of the teams here. Just an easy defense for Method. Roll20 not going too deep. Still no fort taken out.
Arrow. Junkrat in the bottom right.
Yeah, Junkrat eats quite a lot of damage, but that follow-up wasn't there, but here comes the turn-in now.
Bad Benny in the middle lane still has the lightning breath. We'll turn around. There is 3 members here, but Chris has not used his warp yet. You be careful of that. Ethereal jumps in and provides the slow, but the turn-in connects for Method, and they'll play for 13.
That timing is awesome because they will have 13 for that push. And Roll20 doesn't find a kill there, so this is now Method pushing in with the talent advantage and the objective. That's a great situation for them. Getting another 4, maybe even 2 there would be the dream. If that happens, then you are finding yourself, oh my god, if they get the kill too, that would be, I think that would be fantastic for them.
Zarmany skydiving again, holding top lane.
Yeah.
Turns around, here's the Riptire too. Just to back up Roll20 Esports. Gets damage on the back line, actually.
Yeah, good damage, but Urel is now rotating from lane to lane, and the Webweaver's at the bot lane having an easy time since the wave was cleared by Urel before Ethereal made the rotation into the middle. Top lane value in that 4-man is also being found, so that is easily 2 forts if they play that correctly. But top lane is actually getting de-pushed pretty nicely by Roll20.
Yeah, but the second fort dies in the bottom lane.
Yeah.
Method stays up here too. Junkrat has to clear that out, but Method's wanting to fight. Here's the Lordnado. They're pulling in anyone they can. Bunker comes out, so Zarmany can sidestep that. Bad Benny on that front line gets locked down by the harsh discipline.
Horrify also came through. Bad Benny is there. Urel very, very late, but could provide the armor and is jumping in just too late. Can still pick up those gems if he just moves in. And they're going for it. Can they take down Zarmany? And
skydiving! Never mind, here comes the scatter arrows, and they finally get the kill on Blaze.
yeah, that parachute just didn't open.
The parachute today had a couple holes in it. Method was actually in a 5v4 because the entire time Junkrat was clearing the middle and the bottom lane, so I'm still impressed that they were able to find a kill.
No, it was a 4v4.
Oh, was it? Okay.
But like the thing is, Urel actually wanted to move in, and then apparently got interrupted by Junkrat for a second. And I really was waiting the entire time for Urel finally make that move in and help Diablo out with the armor, but it just only happened towards the end because she was still brawling in the mid lane with Junkrat for a while. So it was a 4v4 the top lane the entire time, and then Diablo dies, and then Urel is there, replacing him.
That's what I was missing there. Well,
Because I was always looking at like
Yeah.
Junkrat to make a move there.
well,
After the Riptire, yeah.
16 coming soon for Method. They're going to need 19 gems. They only have a total of 9 here still available on the purse, so they'll pick that up. And the corruption stacks actually finish up for Nick, and good timing too, right before 16.
Yeah, now the Ruinous Affliction will come in as the next talent, and he has that synergy. Massive damage output on his part. The lead in experience that we expected for Method is there. Benny, of course, has to work on his soul stacks again. That's a bit of a setback from the last fight, but in total it still was a win, but now he is still vulnerable. Arrow comes through though, and he's not the only one who's vulnerable. The bunker comes in again as we're seeing Zarmany keeping everyone alive. There's the Horrify again, and this time it's great. But
Avatar
is keeping Robodoba in play.
Drops down a Thunderclap. Bad Benny will be the next target again as Jeff Propulsion comes out, but he's getting healed up. And Lornado finds Blaze again. He gets flung around and even takes a ride before being completely dead.
Blaze's parachute just doesn't do anything against the strong winds that are coming out of Method here today.
You know what's funny is, like, we're saying this stuff and someone's gonna catch on to it and miss the context at the beginning, and eventually someone's gonna meet Zarmi in real life and be like, hey, wanna go skydiving this weekend? You down? I got a couple tickets. You got your chute? You got your gear? And you're like, what are you talking about?
To be honest, bungee jumping is more fun.
I haven't done that one. I've done fake skydiving, which is where you get in those big vacuums and they shoot you up. Whew.
Skydiving is very enjoyable, but it's more of a chill experience. It's not as adrenaline pumping as you would expect after you actually jump out of the plane.
Yeah.
But bungee jumping is amazing.
I mean, you're literally flying towards the earth.
The ground rush that you have. The funny thing about bungee jumping is that cord that attached to your legs, right?
Yeah.
You don't feel that. You honestly think that thing isn't attached. The first time I did it,
really? It seemed like it'd be heavy, like it would just be there.
Yes,
you know? Like,
I thought that too.
Like shackles.
I thought that too. Like, but you don't. You think it's not tight enough. You're like, are you sure that this thing is right? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, you're really sure? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, you're the pro. And then you jump, and it's crazy. Yeah, bungee jumping is awesome.
Speaking of bungee jumping, Bad Benny's going in.
I was worrying for what's also awesome is that engage here, because that push is probably going to deliver a keep.
Both solid segues. That's a keep as the main focus. Retire comes out too.
Good variations.
You need that in life. And this keep goes down to about half health. Webweaver has not been tested yet. Roll20 Esports is working on the one in the middle.
Rover, Avatar, once again, no jump for him. And Bonka barely keeps him alive, but for how long? Not long enough. Down goes Murid, and Zarmani is also in no man's land, about to die too. The keep in the mid lane has already fallen. The keep at the top lane is down. And I come back to what I said at the beginning of the draft. Roll20, it is your own bloody fault. If you just hand over Diablo, Urel, and Deckard Cain, then you can't complain about getting bodied in the game.
I mean, that was a Diablo that wasn't fully stacked either. They had killed him earlier. It's just so difficult to kill when you have these three in the front line together, providing the heals, giving the shields, and giving the armor. Method takes over the night camp, jumps up to level 19, one level away from 20. Roll20 Esports on their side, if they're looking to stay in the game, still have a decent amount of gems, a total of 97, but they've definitely lost a few in these last few exchanges, and they gotta find a way to stop this bleeding.
The keep in the mid lane is actually not down. I thought I saw that fall on the minimap, but I was wrong. My apologies. It was low, but the Webweavers did not completely take it down. That's what Gul'dan is for at this point, and he takes it on. The Lornado trying here for the escape, but a nice level 13 value for Whitelane comes in and locks Bad Benny on the ground. But they have still the disengagement tools to move away here. So the keep falls, and nice arrow. A little bit short, but still a 5-man hit that we just saw from Hanzo.
Lightning Breath comes out too, but Roll20 is able to back up. Or are they? Aethero comes in, and he actually gets knocked straight into the team. He knocks back Zarmi. Zarmi's like, what the heck, Junkrat? Zarmi trying to get away, but he gets taken out.
Are you? Nah, you go for boss here. Get your 20 and go for boss. You got the kill, you have your 20, just make the play for boss. There's not enough gems for them. But yeah, go get boss and then get game. They will have to invade, but they don't have bunker, they don't have blaze. You know there's a fight coming, but you can play around that easily. Just position yourself well now. Set Diablo up in the bush here so that Bad Benny is anchoring the play. But yeah, you get boss at this point, and then you just end on boss with level 20.
I mean, Robo didn't even have a chance to step up. Beam Boy on that front line, Bad Benny. Another Avatar comes out. Horrify connects. He gets focused. Here's Lornado. Robodoba trying to escape, but some arrows and Gul'dan corruption will be enough.
Silver linings, he completed his quest.
Yeah. He can now pierce him in 40 seconds if he's still in the game. Positives.
Oh, that's the connect here too. Can they actually push him into the boss stun? That would have been a disaster, but he dies anyways. Or is he? Bunker keeps him alive a little bit longer. Aethero actually pushes him back. Arrows coming out too from Hanzo again, but yeah, they're just firing from everything they've got at this point. Going for game. Method with a clean victory in game number 2. 8 kills against 3, a 3-level lead towards the end. Lightning Breath comes out once more as Method takes the win against Roll20 and chooses the Spider King.
All tied up. 1-1 as prepared for game number 3. But if Roll20 hadn't seen the games the last couple of days, I feel like after game number 2, there's no way this combination of Yorel, Diablo, and Decker Kane are going to go over to either of these teams for the rest of the series.
Yeah, I'm gaining way too much in my head with these things, but that makes me actually a little bit angry because I'm like, I'm okay if you give it over if you